For me, success is really the ability to be around those that you care about, to install something positive in their lives, and also to become better at whatever trade or industry that you want to be a part of. I don't find many people that are very good at following up in business relationships. They tend to connect and they move on. They connect and they move on. An introvert might want to build a network at a conference table where it's a very defined period of time, defined environment, defined people. They have a control mechanism. Extroverts just like to go out. They just want to go to the trade show, the convention, the conference, the room. They want to talk to everybody. Believe that whatever your personality style is, that it will work. And it will work. I think, Pooja, that networking is typically associated with talking, but it's actually the opposite. It's listening. Introverts have actually a leg up because they listen more than they talk. If I met a person at an event and they're selling web design services, I have no need whatsoever for web design, but I have no idea what some of my business friends need. So the goal is to expand their network, and the time will come eventually where someone's going to come across your pathway that might need them.
Hello everybody, I hope you're doing great. So wish you all a very happy new year 2026. आने वाला साल आपके लिए बहुत ही अच्छा हो। और ये हमारा 2026 का फर्स्ट एपिसोड है जो कि हमने किया है एक पावरफुल टॉपिक पे। पावरफुल टॉपिक क्योंकि शायद इसके बिना कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता, एंड दैट इज नेटवर्किंग। सो टुडे वी आर bringing the most prominent and most brilliant person in the networking, and his name is Scott Menthorne. His book is called The Network Effect, and he is a master of networking. He has created loads of network and help people and guide people how to do networking in the right way. So आप student हैं, आप career professional हैं, आप एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं, स्टार्टअप ओनर हैं, आर्टिस्ट हैं, आप जो कोई भी हैं, हम सबको नेटवर्किंग की ज़रूरत पड़ती है ग्रो करने के लिए। सो कैसे करनी है राइट नेटवर्किंग, व्हाई वी शुड डू नेटवर्किंग एंड हाउ इट वर्क्स। सो स्कॉट से आपको पता चलेगा आज के एपिसोड में। सो कीप वॉचिंग। हाउ आर यू डूइंग?
I am wonderful today. How are you?
I am doing great. So let's start with your journey. How you started? Share me about your journey, like from where you belong, your college, and how you came into this industry, like networking. You are expert in networking. So how you landed up this idea, or you can say that it becomes your expertise. So let's start with your journey.
Okay. I think for me, it started in college. Because of all the social communities that were in the school, I kind of learned how to connect with multiple personalities, right? Once I got into the business world, I looked for ways to duplicate that. And in the United States, there are chambers of commerce and things they call lead groups that allow business people to come into small rooms and start to connect with each other. And that's where I really started to understand what networking was. There's an international group called BNI, Business Network International. And that's really the first place that I had interaction inside of networking. To fast forward the story, not beleaguer it, chambers of commerce started to use me to facilitate rooms of business people. So I helped to have conversations at tables and in small rooms to really help people connect with each other in a meaningful way. And once I did that, I realized that writing was another great way to share some information, and I started to write small articles on business networking. That evolved into my first networking group, which was between professional athletes in the United States and business people. I had a fascination of connecting those two communities to each other and started to build that nationally. And then ahead of LinkedIn, we actually created a website, much like the LinkedIn model, to connect about 700 of these people to each other. Obviously, LinkedIn has survived. That did not. So I morphed over the years into some other specific types of networking organizations. And along the way, Pooja, just realized that I liked to help people navigate through this type of business model. And I was pretty good at it. So with that and COVID and some other things around the tech crash last year, I was presented with an opportunity to write a book. And I knew it was time to put my thoughts out there and bring people together that I knew to share their stories on networking. And that's where the network effect came from.
Wow, that's amazing. Amazing story. So, Scott, past so many years, or maybe, when we start growing up, we listening this word, success. You need to be successful. Everybody, talking about success. When you, one day when I'll be successful, I'll do this, I'll do this. So what do you think? What is the meaning of success for you? What does success means to you?
I think first of all, we gravitate towards people that have the same definition of that word. So for me, success is really the ability to be around those that you care about, to install something positive in their lives, and also to become better at whatever trade or industry that you want to be a part of. I know some people measure it only by the almighty dollar, but I believe in my journeys that I've found more people that have been disappointed by that soul journey than being inclusive in more of a community model. So my book and my network is all people that put family in front, put community in front, right? Put each other in front, and realize by supporting all of those things, they're going to move forward. So they're never focused on themselves. They're always focused on everyone else.
Great to hear about it. But most of the time people measure success by money, or you can say that status or fame. Means for them, they think that if you have a great amount of money in your bank account, or maybe, you are living a levi's lifestyle, then you are successful. So what do you want to say about it?
I think everyone on the planet has free will. So each person can make whatever decision they want for themselves. And it's not up to us to put our values on other people. I think it's up to us to find other people that share our values. Right?
Absolutely right. So you have been, please continue.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So you have said it's a long journey for your career. So in this journey, we want you to share the 3 valuable lessons from your entire journey.
That's great. In the book I wrote something called 8 tips and 8 pet peeves, and I won't go over all of them, but I really think that one of the greatest opportunities in networking is to develop relationships. And because social media offers so much access with shares and follows and likes and retweets and connects and all of these things, a lot of people get consumed by numbers and transaction of relationships instead of slowing down and connecting in a small circle. So I think it's super important to build a strong circle, a small circle around you, and then expand from that. It's like anything else, Pooja. Experience comes over time, and you can't have 100 people in your circle if you don't know how to manage it. So you need to start small with your relationships and move on. And that's called follow up and follow through in my book. I don't find many people that are very good at following up in business relationships. They tend to connect and they move on. They connect and they move on. You do not find many business people that are very, very good at using a small circle of relationships to build a large opportunity.
Okay, great to hear that. So, like when we are going to talk people or forming a network, so some people say that I'm an introvert, so that, I cannot connect with the people. And some people say I'm an extrovert, so I'm very easy, very easily I get connected with the people. So it's about you. Are you introvert or extrovert while you have to connect with your audience or maybe people? So what kind of person you are?
Well, I'm an extrovert, but at the end of the day, I'm an introvert. And I think any communication style can be successful. It really comes down to how do you manage the community around you. Introverts tend to want to have things in the control mechanism, so an introvert might want to build a network at a conference table where it's a very defined period of time, defined environment, defined people. They know when it ends. They have a control mechanism. Extroverts just like to go out. They just want to go to the trade show, the convention, the conference, the room. They want to talk to everybody. So both options are available. Both options are good. You have to believe that whatever your personality style is, that it will work, and it will work, right? You don't have to change to an extrovert to be successful, and you don't have to change to an introvert to be successful.
Great. So anybody can become a great networker. Anybody can connect with the people. It's not like we have to be an extrovert or we have to be an introvert. Anybody can do it.
Yeah, I think, Pooja, that networking is typically associated with talking.
Okay.
But it's actually the opposite.
Listening.
It's listening. Yes. So introverts have actually a leg up because they listen more than they talk. Okay. Extroverts can just go on and on and on and just, dumb down the audience, and I won't pay attention to them because they just won't stop talking. So, I always tell people 2v1, listen twice as much as you talk. Right? And a great resource for an introvert or an extrovert is to learn how to get people to talk the way you want them to. Meaning, I'm trying to extract some knowledge from you and ideas and relationships and so forth. What am I going to say to you to get you to respond and share that information? And introverts are very good at that.
Oh, great to know that. Because they listen, right? That's what they are, a great knowledge extractor.
Yeah, I had about a half dozen introverts in my book. I didn't know any of them were introverts, but I knew every one of them. And one of the common themes was that an introvert will go to a networking event with a question that they could ask anybody that walks up on them. So instead of freezing and saying, oh my God, I have to give this person my 30-second elevator pitch, you can actually start the conversation by asking a question, which is what you want to do. Learn something about that person, maybe respond to them, and then it'll be more calming at the end when they ask you about what you're doing, or it'll just be part of the conversation. But the introvert takes it from all about themselves to all about the other person.
Great.
Right?
Yeah. So Scott, tell our audience who is very new, they don't know about networking, but they want to start. Suppose they want to go any event or maybe any personal event maybe, and they don't know how to start conversation, how to, even though you said you can start with questions or maybe, you can start with elevator pitch, but maybe they don't have idea about this also. So can you tell us like 5 steps or, how they can start networking, how they can network with people?
Well, there's a lot of ways you can do it. I think LinkedIn is one of the greatest gifts to this process because you can basically build a community the way you want to build it with information. There's a lot of feeds and a lot of stories and a lot of articles on LinkedIn. So that's like really a great place to start. It's very controlled. If you're not comfortable being out in the market, you can be comfortable in LinkedIn and learn from the experts on LinkedIn. There's a lot of free information on there, and there's a lot of easy ways to connect. How hard is it to go on and click, connect, or click follow? That's all you've got to do. So if you can click a mouse pad button, you can start networking. All right. I would read, obviously, and I'm not here pitching my book, but I think you need to read methodologies on how people interact. It's funny, Pooja, because networking is something you did from a child. People just think of it as this complex subject, but you network in every facet of your day, whether it's, where's yoga class or how is that movie or, do you know X? All of it is networking. And for some reason, business people get a little more shy when they put it into a business context. Because I think people feel vulnerable. And if they make a mistake, they're going to put themselves in a bad position. But when in doubt, learn how to listen.
We have to become a great listener.
What's that?
We have to become a great listener if we want to become a great networker.
Yeah, and I think, again, with LinkedIn, if you go into a LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn will tell you where someone went to school. It'll tell you probably a few different jobs they had and where they were and what they did. And when you go to the bottom of LinkedIn, it usually talks about volunteer activities or hobbies or interests. And you can find commonalities in people that's far beyond business. So if I talk to someone new, the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to their LinkedIn profile and I'm going to the bottom.
Okay.
The top is obvious, but I want to go to the bottom and find out why they're so passionate about X. It's listed here. They volunteered this. They took a trip there. It's right there on LinkedIn. And that's how I open the conversation. Okay. Because everyone else will get on the phone with them and say, can you tell me about your company? Can you tell me how you influence decisions? Can you help me? Blah, blah, blah. They're getting hit all day long by those questions. But how many people start a conversation by saying, can you tell me about the Boys and Girls Club here that you've been involved with for 9 years? Watch out.
Yeah.
Okay? Because people want to talk about family, faith, friends, fundraising, fun, right? College, okay? Businesses, it's work.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the secret sauce to networking, is finding something that's going to get them excited.
Okay, great. And something common.
Could be something common. It might not be something common. And the second thing that I always say in conversation is, how can I help you? Okay. You have a project you're working on in the office, or is there something outside of work that you're trying to get done? I have a diverse, network, which maybe I have, maybe I don't, but I want to help. Okay, how many business people get that question in a conversation? Right? So you're going to eventually get to the business part of the discussion, but why not set the table with a relationship based on gratitude and respect, right? And the people you want to connect to are going to be open to this. The people that are not are going to push you right into a business conversation. I've had that happen before.
Great.
You know, and those people I know are transactional, and I probably don't want to be involved in them.
Thanks for sharing, Scott. Generally, Scott, I get some kind of students who tell me like, they are very introvert and they don't know how to, connect with the strangers. Basically, they are very good talking with their known people, or maybe, they have interacted 6 to 7 times. But when it comes to stranger, like, maybe going for the date even, or meeting to the person first time. So they say, I get freeze. I don't know literally what to talk. So what kind of advice you want to share with them, like how they can start? As you shared, like we can share the thing, we can talk about the thing which excites them, or maybe, the common interest, something like that. Apart from that, what kind of conversation they can connect so that, the conversation must be going on. It should not be freeze or stuck like small talks. Apart from that, how they can, lead the conversation to build a great relationship.
So where everybody wants to get to, Pooja, is they want to get to a level where they're having their business network introduce them to other people. Okay? So I don't walk up on anybody cold. I couldn't tell you the last time I did. Okay? Every conversation I have is coming from someone else. So even though we've never met before, I can ask them about the Boys and Girls Club, right? I can ask them how I can help them. I can also talk about the person that connected us to each other.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 3 things to talk about right there, right? Which should easily lead into some part of a business conversation. Okay. Now, how do you get there? Well, you need to have a network. And you need to have a network of people that are willing to introduce you to other people. Now, that may sound very easy or very complex. I don't know. All right. But you start with one. So, do I have one business relationship in my world that would introduce me to another business person? If I asked. And if that person asked me to introduce them to one business person, am I capable of doing that? So start with one.
Yeah, and one more thing I would like to ask, like, for example, we have connected with some of the new person. Suppose I went in some event and I met that person, we shared the contacts and business details. Maybe I don't need that particular business now, or maybe I don't want to give any business to that person. So how to nurture that relationship? Means because I don't have any work with them currently. So how, I can nurture that relationship so that people can remember me? How, we can nurture those kind of relationships?
Yeah, I never look at my business people based on what their focus area is. So I could have attorneys or venture capitalists or realtors or, private aviation companies. I never think about their business specifically. Okay. My goal is to help them expand their network. And their goal should be to help me expand my network. So if I met a person at an event and they're selling, web design services, I have no need whatsoever for web design. I never will. And it's going to be a rarity that I'm going to come across somebody who needs what they have. But I have no idea what some of my business friends need or who they know. So the goal is to expand their network, okay? And the time will come eventually where someone's going to come across your pathway that might need them. It might be once a year, once every 2 years, once every 5 years. It's not important. You want to network with good people that are expanding their network, and you are expanding yours, right? And this isn't a big exercise, Pooja, because Harvard Business School, Harvard Business Review did a study on how many people you can network with total. Do you have any idea what that number is?
No.
The article said 150 people
In a month?
total.
Okay.
Okay. So your ability to have a cognitive relationship with other people is 150 for business.
Okay. Great.
Now, if you go on LinkedIn and you start looking at anybody's LinkedIn profile, you're not going to find anyone that has 150 people on their profile. People have thousands or, unbelievable numbers. Mine is, okay, and I do this professionally, right? So mine is 355, and it's almost impossible for me to stay connected to that number. All right. My go-to number is about 35 people.
Yeah.
But I've built systems over the years where I can go a little higher. So what I'm saying to you is that there's a difference between networking and connecting. Okay, you connect on Instagram, you connect on Facebook, you connect on LinkedIn, Twitter, the new thing Zuckerberg put out. You connect. Okay. You cannot network with all those people. They are a database. They are followers. Okay. They probably won't return your phone call, or you don't have their phone number. They're just there. So you need to start with a small number of people and multiply out from that small number of people.
So networking is about leading the conversation and building the relationship more deeper. Is that?
Sure. I think there's multiple definitions to what networking is, right? I think networking is the ability to move information between multiple points. Some of them can come in, some of them can go out, some of them can go between. Okay. I probably connect, I don't know. Let's just use a round number and say every week I'm making 10 connections between people every week. That's probably very reasonable. So I'm making 500 connections a year myself, right? Pooja, I want to introduce you to Rahul. Click. I do this all the time. So if I've made 500 connections for some people, I should have a reasonable expectation that there's a number below that should be connected for me. Right? And this is probably a conversation for another video call, but I have a methodology called Give Me 5, right? So the kids always go, hey, give me 5. So I can get on a phone call with a business person and say, Pooja, today's call is going to be about me identifying 5 contacts for you. I want to connect you to 5 people. Okay. And I'll help you through this process. All right. When this call is over, I'm going to have 5 names. I'm going to send 5 emails to connect you to 5 people. Now I want you to do the same for me. And if I need to, I will lead you down that road too. Okay. And I might say, I'm looking for a banker in Istanbul. I'm looking for, a hotelier here. I can lead you with keywords. And every time I say something, you come up, you're already thinking of things. So give me 5. And that's a system that anybody can use. It'll take a while to figure out how to make it work. But if you think about the scale of that, Pooja, and you go back into your circle and say, do I have 10 people I know that know 5 people? And would they introduce me to them? Okay? Because even if our business network is 100 people, I'm asking you to introduce me to 5 people in your network. 2% of your network. All right? Or 5% of your network, whatever that number is, right? And this is where you can really validate relationships with other people, right? Now, I can guarantee, even with you, to put you in front of 5 people. I can guarantee it. The question is, can you do the same, right? So, there's usually only a handful of people in your network that are either capable of doing it or are willing to do it.
Yeah, correct.
All right? And those are the most valuable people in your network, right? There's a rule in sales. There's a guy from the United States called Dale Carnegie that everybody knows by name. Dale Carnegie is a very famous trainer in sales. And it's the 80-20 rule in sales and business, right? 20% of your clients drive 80% of your business. Okay. The same rule applies to networking. 20% of your network drives 80% of your new network. Okay. And so why do I want to go out into an event in a room and meet somebody that I don't know and go down that long process of trying to find something when I can go back to my 20%? I don't network in open rooms. It's extremely inefficient. It's social. So if you want to stand and have laughs and get to know people and feel comfortable because you're in a place, great. Is it efficient? No, not even a little bit.
Great. So 20% people brings 80% of network.
It should be that number. You should. My private global network is called the Inside Circle. I have a very, very bland website called theinsidecircle.net. My Inside Circle is about 35 people. Okay. Now that's much more than 20% of my overall network size. But again, I've kind of mastered that number.
Great to hear that.
And what's that?
Great to know about it.
One more time, Pooja.
Sorry?
Say that one more time.
Great to hear about it, that you have 35 people in your network, in your community.
Yeah, it's a number that's taken a long time to get to, and that's a very big number. I would say, I bet most people would be down in the low teens. 12 to 15 is probably what most people could manage. Maybe less, maybe 6 to 8. And there's no right number or wrong number. It's outcome based, right? And efficiency based. But you don't have to spend a lot of time networking. You have to spend a lot of quality time networking.
Right. So the last question, Scott, what is the role of first impression and communication skill and code of conduct when we network with somebody? What do you think?
Well, listen, I see this all the time. So as soon as you can, you should follow up with somebody once you connect with them. I'll often host calls with business people. And in the phone call, I'm preparing the connections. So as soon as that call ends, send. Okay. Rarely will I go a day. It's very, very important to make that happen as fast as possible. Because if you don't do it right away, it becomes another task on your never-ending to-do list. Okay. So follow up or connect as quickly as possible. The good business people will respond quickly, and those are the ones you want to stay close to. The bad ones may never respond, or will respond in a week, right? Or you'll see them all over social media responding to stuff, but for some reason they never responded to you. Okay? LinkedIn, and this isn't the only one, but LinkedIn is a telescope and a microscope. Okay? So I can see what you're doing and when you're connecting and who you're connecting to and when you're responding. And if I hit you up and I've seen you on here for the last 2 days going crazy and you can't take 20 seconds to respond back to me, okay? I don't want to be a tattletale, but I'm like, hey, what's going on? I guess I'm this important in your daily task sheet.
Thank you so much, Scott, sharing your valuable insight about networking. We loved a lot, and I think our audience will love it. So yes, any feedback for me or my show, I love to hear that.
Well, I'm so glad I could come on, and I know you know how to get to me, the networkeffect.ai, and thank you so much, Pooja. I'm excited to continue these conversations, and sometime in the near future, you and I need to give each other 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great day, Pooja. A great night.
Thank you so much, Scott. Same to you. Have a good day. Have a great time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
So friends, I hope ki you love my episode of today's first episode. And if you want to see content like this, if you want to meet people like this, please do comment in the comment section and let me know. And now you have to do 3 things. The first thing is, if you are new to our channel, please do subscribe us. Second thing is that if you love our content, please do share at least one of your friends so that they can know about our content, they can learn something from that, because sharing is caring. And third, please let me know in the comment box, like if you have any specific request, if you want to listen or meet any specific guest on our show. And we meet you soon in our next episode. Till then, keep watching Pooja's Talk Show.